I think Bitcoin will be over 250,000 by the end of this year or next year.
What's going to drive that?
What's really next for the Bitcoin price now that Donald Trump has announced a 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs?
Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know? They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid.
Watch this full video so you're fully informed and can make the best decisions for your crypto portfolio in 2025. This is how we make real money in crypto. Now, to be clear, we're not out of the woods yet. Trump has temporarily reduced tariffs to 10% for most countries. It's not a full pause to zero, it's just 10%, which was considered a lot 2 weeks ago but now feels more manageable. This comes in addition to an ongoing full-blown trade war with China. So, is this good or bad for markets? And how seriously should we take it when looking at how to invest in 2025?
Well, Becky, we are much better off than we were at this time yesterday, but are we as good off as we were 3 months ago? I don't think so. Actually, interestingly enough, with the 125% tariff on China, the 10% blanket tariff, the average tariff actually went up yesterday with the raise in China, and JP Morgan calculated at 23%, which right now is higher than the Smoot-Hawley tariff at this moment. So, you know, we're not out of the woods on the tariff. I mean, we'll see what gets negotiated. It definitely, will have to be a negotiation with China. I don't know whether Trump holds as many cards as he thinks he holds on that. But I know that Trump will declare a victory. And by the way, it is good to the extent that he has 75 countries he will be negotiating with. But the shock of what happened, I don't think you can get that out of consumers' mind or investors' mind for quite a while. And so I don't think we can challenge those February highs for quite some time.
Here's the core issue for investors in Bitcoin, NASDAQ, or the broader stock market. Markets hate uncertainty. If you give them bad news, they can price it in. If you give them good news, even better. But when the narrative swings wildly, 40% tariffs one day, 10% the next, a 90-day pause, maybe a 60-day pause after that, plus an unpredictable trade war with China, it freezes the market. Investors don't want to deploy capital. Trillions of dollars are just sitting on the sidelines. Yes, we've seen a relief rally, which is normal after a sharp drop. But here's the concern. If Trump tweets in 2 weeks that tariffs are back up, markets will tank again. Or maybe this really is the peak of the tariff chaos. Maybe the worst is behind us, which could make this the perfect buying opportunity. But the truth is, we just don't know. Again, markets hate uncertainty. That's the key. Now, from a fundamentals perspective, Bitcoin is in a far better place than it was 18 months ago. Pro-crypto advocate Paul Atkins is now officially the new SEC chair, a regulatory environment that's pro-Bitcoin. We've never seen that before. There's also massive institutional demand from ETFs.
The reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen.
We even have an official strategic Bitcoin reserve, where one of the world's largest nations says, "We're holding this." It's valuable. This helps explain why Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson still believes Bitcoin is heading to $250,000 by 2025 or even sooner.
The tariff stuff will be a dud, and then people will realize that the world is willing to negotiate. And it's really just U.S. versus China, and a lot of people will side with us, some people will side with China. The markets will stabilize a little bit, and they'll get used to the new normal.
Even during peak bullishness, I always said Bitcoin could dip. It could fall back to $69,000 or even $70,000, and it would still be a bull market. That same logic applies now. Even if we see Bitcoin pull back into the low $70Ks this year, I believe the broader trend remains intact. Here's the point. I try to prepare you for all outcomes bullish or bearish. And here's what no other crypto channel is talking about: earnings. We're about to see many companies post terrible Q1 earnings, probably worse in Q2 and Q3 2025 because of the trade war. Many of the S and AMP wink with tongue sticking out 500 strongest stocks will report numbers well below expectations. Bitcoin? Bitcoin doesn't have earnings. It's not priced on revenue. And while traditional stocks may fall on weak earnings, Bitcoin's fundamentals are rising. So is gold. That's why this could be Bitcoin's breakout year.
This is why Bitcoin will decouple, because Bitcoin isn't priced on earnings. And if countries are looking for something to own, you're going to want scarce reserve assets. Long gold, long Bitcoin. Easy, easy. So people don't understand what we're living through. And I'm looking on the internet and everyone's freaking out. And my message to my audience and to the Bitcoiners is just relax. You got to breathe, calm down. Understand what you own. Understand what we're living through right now. Let the stock market puke and figure itself out. And by the way, is it over? No. What are we living through right now? We're trying. I'm literally on Wall Street having meetings with Wall Street people. This city is full of a bunch of over-levered, pompous hedge fund assholes. These guys, I mean, the stock market's down like 4%. These guys are begging and pleading and screaming for a bailout. Give me a break. Everyone wants a relief rally. We're now at the phase where everyone's like, oh, you hear that? Oh my God, Trump said that he's open to negotiations. Trump said he might walk back what he said. And no one's actually pricing in the fact that Trump means business. Whether you like it or not, Trump wants to help the poor American. Trump wants to create factory jobs. Trump wants to produce stuff here. Trump wants to fix the deficit problem. That's until I see otherwise, Trump is about business. Trump is keeping his promises. Whether you like it or not, this is not a political podcast. I'm just calling it how I see it. And you've got a bunch of over-levered people here in New York that are just losing their mind. And this is so bullish for Bitcoin. They're going to have to print so much money. Bitcoin is really priced with how much fiat currency is sloshing around in the world. And in order for all of this to play out and work, we have to debase our currency. We have to devalue our debt, and we have to create more fiat. It's going to send Bitcoin nuclear.
Thank you for watching and see you soon.